Hi, this is The Coaching Game. I'm Laurie Lawson. And tonight, anybody who watches this show knows that I always say, okay, this is based on the fantastic game called Points of View. And then I talk about two geniuses in Israel who created it. The geniuses are here. How exciting. Yaron Golan and Efrat Shani. Is that close to how I'm supposed to say it? Okay. It's okay. I've been doing Efrat Shani, but I'm from the South, so that's how I talk. But so welcome, welcome, welcome. I am so excited, and people are wondering, who are these people? And now we know. Okay. Let me just tell you a little bit about Points of View, and then these guys are really going to tell you about Points of View. Points of View is one of the best coaching tools I have found thus far. And these are the people who created it. It has 65 cards. It has a book with stories and coaching quotes and coaching questions. It has a layout chart. It has pretty much anything you would need. You could actually take this little thing, have 65 coaching sessions, and people will think you are the best coach in the world. So what we want to know is, how did this, were you just sitting around one day and you said, hey, let's create the best coaching tool in the world? How did this happen?
So something like that.
Really? Okay, good.
This is the story.
Oh, I like that better. Yeah, it's a better story. Yes.
So Efrat and me, we met 12 years ago in our coaching qualification, and after that, each one of us went to his own path, mainly business coaching, executive coaching, and then after 2 years, we both separately saw the movie Pay It Forward.
Oh,
and
okay.
yeah, it's a beautiful movie, and we both were very inspired and engaged by this movie. And we remember that when we started this process of coaching and personal development, we did it not only in order to take businesses to have better results, but also we felt we have a very significant calling in doing this thing. So we initiated a non-profit organization in Israel by the name of Pay It Forward.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Okay.
And we started to work with lots of groups with juvenile kids and women with some violence history. And besides working with our regular target audience as executives, and we were traveling all over Israel and initiating lots of groups. And then one day, at one of our groups that we conduct,
it was on the way.
It's on the way.
Yeah, to the north of Israel. And Yaron just said to me, Efrat, let's make a coaching game. And I asked him, what is it, coaching game? He said, I don't know, but let's do it.
It sounds good, whatever it is, yes.
The need came from, we felt that the coaching process was too verbal and was too logic and too didactic.
Yes.
So we were asking ourselves, how can we deliver the same content that is always coming in every session, one-on-one or in group, and make this coaching process much more juicy, much more interesting. And then the idea of creating the game came, and we said, let's make a game that everyone will be able to play at home with their family, with their friends, with their employees, with their teams, something that will be fun and inspiring. And this is actually how it started.
Were you, and I know Efrat, because I've taken their training, and I know Efrat's very familiar with pictures and photography. Were you aware that you were going to do something with photographs and how much they break down the barriers? Were you aware of that, or did it just happen?
Actually, when we just decided to do a coaching game, we had two decisions actually. One, that it's going to be in cloth.
In the fabric, yeah.
Yeah.
And the second one, that is going to be with photos.
Wow.
It was just a decision, and from there we started the develop of the game. Why photos? But I don't know. It was something that called us and said photos. It was 8 years before.
Wow.
No Facebook, not really familiar with everyone, not
Instagram,
yet
anyway,
not yet.
Yeah.
The cellular was not without the cameras yet, but we thought this will be the best. We didn't know why, but this is how it started. I used to be a photographer. I'm photoing from the age of 18, so.
So photographs have already called you.
It's part of my life, actually.
But we didn't completely understand the choice that we made. Only many choices, I have to say, that we made when we did the development process. We didn't know exactly what we were doing. We really worked very intuitive and very from the guts. And now, after the game was out 8 years ago, 7 years ago, and it started to spread all over the world, then lots of professors and doctors all over the world started to tell us about many theories that behind the game that we, both of us, didn't have a clue. No, not at all.
I love love it.
Really, it was doing it the best we can in order to do something very precise, and a tool that we can really work and use in many, many ways. So
what I find amazing is how the photos break down barriers. I mean, you're right, coaching is in the head, oh my God, the right question, listening, all of that. But I find that the photos, and especially when you're using it like for a workshop, and you're creating a community, it just immediately, people will respond to the photo, and you say, introduce yourself to the photo, and you get the most intimate details, and it will say, oh my gosh, and everybody just participates. So I don't know what that theory is, but I do know that it works, and I would keep it going forever. So I think you were very lucky on that. How did you get the photos? How did you choose the words that go with the photos? How did all that happen?
Just a minute before you will answer this question, I just want to say that photography is the language of the 21st century. And it's very important to understand it. Not everybody, not all of us know exactly how to speak or to understand this language, but everybody talks it.
Yes.
This is why it's really everybody can be in touch with that, because we're seeing photos everywhere.
It's like traveling internationally. As long as you can find the international sign for restrooms, it's like, okay, I got it. I know where I am. Yeah.
So when we started again, we started with deciding which topics are going to be in our tool. We did different kind of surveys over the internet and face-to-face from people, and trying to figure out what are the most important issues that they are dealing with, topics that they are dealing with. Once we had the topics, the titles, then we started to collect point of views on those topics. It was different kind of thing. It was, on one hand, visuals, and I'll tell you in a minute how it started.
Okay.
But also it was to collect, we understood very early that we don't want to say, for example, what is fear, or what is success, or what is failure. We just wanted to show it from as many perspectives as possible, and to create a discussion, and then each person in the end will decide for themselves.
Yes.
So once we had the topics, we started to collect visuals. It was a very interesting process. Efrat and me, for maybe 6 months, each one of us sat on his own computer. We started to get in touch with photographers from all over the world. We looked for not professional photographers. We looked in their own photo albums, and we were trying to look to find photographs that are very authentic, that are not Photoshop, and that will do also something when you look at them, that they will do something to you. They will not leave you.
You will react.
You will react some way, in a
good, bad,
exactly,
whatever. Yeah.
Exactly.
Just react. Yeah.
And besides that, we started to go to all the books that we read all of our lives. We love to read. This is a part of our core value also,
Right.
internal research. And for years, we read lots of books and marker the things that we liked in them. So we went to lots of the books and started to all the quotes and started
and just put it in the computer.
categorizing it through to the titles and topics.
That's amazing. Well, let me just say, this is going to be a little hard to see, but the book, obviously you came across more photos than you could use, right?
Yeah.
Because the photos are exquisite. They're all different, and they're all provocative, you know, and they all make you think for some reason. And yet your head is able to wrap around them, whatever situation you're in. But also, in each card has a corresponding story and quotes and coaching questions, but there's so many great photographs that they put a few at the bottom just in case, because you had excess, right?
Yeah,
they were all fantastic. So so did you expect it to be this big? Were those the plans? Because how many countries are you in now, and how many languages? It's amazing.
It's funny, you know. Before we did the first, the creative process took us 9 months. Yeah.
Okay. They birthed the baby.
Exactly.
Yes.
It took us more than we thought, and she born in week 42nd.
Okay.
And before we did the first production, we didn't know how many games to do. Many friends and professionals, consultants, business people that we were involved with said, listen. We took loans to do it. We didn't have money to invest, so we went to the bank and we asked for a loan to do it. And so they said, listen, you already took lots of risks and you took loans, so do 50 games. Start a little bit, see that it's working, then do 75 games. And but we felt very strongly that we have something very unique. Although nobody understood what we are doing, they thought we are crazy. And
it was after the content of trust.
Yes.
Yeah. Ah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We
I'm
just
sure you
finalized
played
the
this game
trust
many
and
times
then,
with
yeah.
yourselves,
Yeah.
right? Yes.
So, but we felt very strongly that we have something unique here. So we did 2,000 copies, and
Oh.
we launched it to the market on March 2007 in Hebrew. And after 2 weeks, the whole 2,000 games were sold.
Oh my gosh. Oh
Yeah,
my
but
then-
we are risky people. We're taking risks.
And then we did,
Obviously.
and then we did another 2,000, and then the second edition also went out very quickly. And a year afterwards, we had it in English, and it started to spread all over the world. And we represented Israel in different kind of conferences in Germany, for example. This is where we met people in Germany that fell in love with the tool and said, "Okay, let's bring it to Germany as well." So we translated it into Germany. And last year we had it in Japanese, and this year coming up Norwegian in few months, and Russian and Spanish. So we already have 6 languages now.
How's Italy coming? Because I did a workshop in Italy, and thank heavens everybody spoke English, but they're dying for it in
Not
Italy.
yet,
Yeah.
but it will be.
It's in the
And
process.
I met someone from Germany who was at the bookshop, at the books fair, whatever
Yeah,
you want, the
yeah,
huge thing.
yeah.
And we did points of view on the show. So
Nice.
yeah, so it is everywhere. That's
It is
great.
we are selling today in more than 100 countries around the world.
Oh my goodness.
We have certified trainers. After the games were out, we started to get lots of approaches from professionals who felt that this is a tool they want to learn more and to use it in their sessions, and from organizations. Today we are working with Intel and Circus du Soleil and lots of them. So they wanted to learn more about the trainings. And we didn't have training back then, but we said, yeah, sure, let's start building trainings for that.
Yeah.
And today we have certified trainers that you are a part of them also in more than 60
I was in
countries.
the first class.
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
How many have you done so far?
We did. Now we are going to open the sixth one. It's going to open
Wow.
in the end of this month. And
I didn't realize that many.
Yeah, yeah.
And I have to tell you, they've also managed to get ICF credits for it, CCEUs, and it's what is it? It was 44. Is that what it-
44.75 for
Yeah.
our certification program. It's
Yeah.
a complete program. It's a full year.
Yeah.
Something very deep and detailed, and it's also with the. Besides the content, it's nice because it's with international people from all over the world.
Oh, it's such a community, and it
Yeah.
keeps growing and
Yeah,
growing.
it's
Yeah,
growing.
and the beauty is, if you take this, I mean, you have your 40 credits right there, and you
Yeah.
get to have fun while you're getting them. A
Yeah.
lot of times you have to
Yeah.
sit through boring lectures just to get the credits, but you've got
And
'em.
also you get something that makes you stand out from the rest. You have a very visual and tangible tool that you can use in companies for one-on-one, for in groups. So it gives you a very significant
It's-
added value as well.
I have used this. I have used this with like previously incarcerated men. I do a workshop for something called Career Gear. I've used it with corporate executives. It works either way,
Yeah.
and I'll do one-on-one, and someone they'll do a layout, and they'll pull a card, and it's like, oh my gosh, how are they going to figure this out? And you manage to wrap your head around wherever. It's just. It's an experiential thing. It's like coaching, but it's
Yeah.
it's hard to explain. But when you see it in action, people always go, "Oh my gosh!" You
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
So this is the finished product. You couldn't make this any better if you had to, right? It's done.
It's but
I mean, you could make it in different languages.
Yeah.
in different languages, and also now we also
no, They're
No,
gonna improve
there is-
it.
it's part of the creative process that
Yeah.
we took a lot of time to develop it.
It is
And it's like a
perfect.
baby, and all the time we are identifying another detail, and but it's endless.
Yes,
So at one
yes.
point,
One day you have to say, come on,
It's
this is complete
Yes.
as it is.
Yes.
Yeah.
and leave it.
And,
Yeah.
and
But what
obviously,
we're doing actually, every year we have our planner, and this is kind of extension for
Yes.
the point of view for the coaching game, and you get more 12 contents with cards, with the stories, with the quotes, with the question, with everything. So
Tell us a little bit about the planner. Is that the planner is based on the year, right?
yeah,
And it's like a calendar.
yeah, it's kind of a calendar. Each month has its own topic.
Mm-hmm.
Each topic has its own card.
More
And
cards.
yeah, more 12 cards.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah. And it's and in every you can summarize your months. There is kind of a layout chart inside. Also, there is like in here we have the layout chart. So also in the planner we have more
Yes.
4 layout chart different. And every week you have the quote of the week, the photo of the week. So it's very inspiring.
And
I use it with two people. I gave some for Christmas gifts, of course, and I use it with two people.
We brought you more.
You did, yay! and we do this on religiously every month, and it's like, oh, I don't really feel like doing this. I'm so big, and it does. It inspires you to get through the month, and it gives you a goal. It's amazing. So they'll be coming out for 2015, right?
Yeah.
And 2014, are there any left?
We have a little bit left. We also launched a set of journals.
Yeah.
They are also beautiful. Again,
bought them too.
the whole purpose of what we are doing, it's really to create tools for inspiration, for learning and for development, physical tools, tangible. So that's the purpose of it. And there is not only the coaching game, there is also the Punctum game that we launched last year.
Tell me what you have journals, and there are four topics. What are they? And then we can talk about Punctum.
Everything is possible.
Love. Dreams.
And
just be me.
Yes. Okay. All right. So so that's a choice. Can you buy them separately or in a set of 4?
No, you buy the set of 4, and
great.
it comes. Each one of them comes with a different content inside, according to the big topic, and it comes also with 4
more cards.
More cards.
Different cards because it's with photo and a quote.
Yeah. Yes.
So it's a little bit different.
Yeah.
And also, it's coming also with a small, I don't know, info guidebook that how to work with these cards, because they are different than those.
Yes.
Because those are with photo and title, and those photo and a quote. So you work with it differently.
It allows you more options, different kind of options.
Yeah. And these are going to be available. These are
still
still
already available.
Okay.
We just came now from the ASTD, American Society Training and Development Conference in Washington D.C. We had a booth over there, and everybody came to us. Lots of people said, "Wow, your booth is rocking!" And really, our booth over there, it was unbelievable.
Crazy.
Yeah. All the time, lots of people. We also conducted over there an experiential session for 300 people that came to our session. Lots of trainers from all over the world.
300 people.
Yeah, it was.
I can't even imagine.
It was an open space, so all the time people were gathering and gathering. It was crazy.
So we had over there the tools and the journals and the planners, and it was amazing again to see the response. Sometimes I have to be honest, I don't understand exactly how it works. You know, people come to our booth and think about something, and then picking up one of the cards, and you can see on their face, and you can really see what they are going through, and it's not logic, but it's so precise. It's unexpected and precise to see what they are going through, and so we had lots of experiences like that right now.
What always happens when I'm doing a one-on-one with somebody, and they draw the cards, and they do the layout, and they go, "How did you make me draw those cards?" I didn't touch the cards. You did it. It is truly. It's I call them magic cards. It's like,
and it's important to say, because sometimes you can choose the cards when they are facing down. And then when you choose the cards facing down, it's you're choosing something that if it was up to you, maybe you wouldn't choose, and it will give you maybe an observation that is out of your 180 degrees of observation.
Yeah.
Or you can choose the cards facing up, so you can just go over them. For some people that are more logic, that are more needs a bit of study.
Control, yes.
So control. So you can start with spreading the cards facing up, ask them to go over the cards, look at the visual, look at the topic. And then it's easier for them. There is less resistance from logic people.
Yeah, you know what? I don't use them facing up. I believe in the cards. I think they'll call you, and you'll pick the one you want. All right, tell us about Punctum, because that's a whole different game with more great cards, but no words on the cards. Yeah,
not together. Actually, what we did. Maybe we'll talk a little bit about right brain and left brain,
yes,
huh?
Yeah.
But please do it. My English is not so good, so.
No, mine is perfect.
Yours is very good.
Okay.
When you compare it to mine.
So first of all, again, there is something very powerful about the photographs, and again, only after it was out we understood it, that each photograph has a topic and a visual, and the visual gives some kind of a point of view about the topic. The topic talks to our left brain, to our logic side inside of us, the language, the didactic side. And photograph talks to our right brain, to our visual and intuitive and emotional side. This is where the creativity is. And when you're looking at one of our cards, many times also there is a dissonance when you look at it for 2-3 seconds, you don't understand exactly the connection between the topic.
word and it doesn't go
but it's on
together.
purpose.
Yes.
Because this dissonant state of mind, it's perfect. This is a place where everything is possible when we are breaking from our habits
You're
and
making a
pattern.
new path.
Yeah.
The way I explain it, I explain that it brings right brain and left brain thinking together, and you're going along, and then suddenly you're over here, and it's like, how did I get here? But it's wonderful. Yeah.
And again, really, we didn't know that this is what we are doing, but this is what's happening today. This moment after 2-3 seconds, when there is an insight and understanding, it's create a new link between right brain and left brain, a new understanding that before that was revealed under the surface, and suddenly, because of the photograph, it's like have the ability to trigger our own inner photo album.
Oh, I like that. Yeah.
Each one of us have so many photos that we are taking all over our life, not physical, but inside.
Inside, yeah.
Physical and not physical,
Yeah.
both.
And we have many more that are not physical. We have many more that we are
Yes.
in a situation and we are taking a photograph inside, and photograph, when we are observing them, they are triggering our own inner photo album, and it helps us again to talk about them and to put them on the table. And if we are doing it through a tool or through a game, it's happening in a much more soft and safe environment. Because when we are doing it through the game, people are saying, oh, it's just a game.
It's not me. It's not about me. It's about the game.
Yes,
It's about the card.
exactly. You
Yeah.
can
So
distance.
it's easy to talk
Yes.
about
Yeah.
it, and it's not. And it's not about me. And about the punctum, what we did actually, we separate the word and the photo. We took different photos. Actually, in the game, the punctum, there is 99 cards, 33
Right.
only photos, 33 only words, and 33 only questions.
Yes.
And we did it actually because it's not our game is for all the professionals. It's not only for coaches. There is a lot of dynamic professional like psychologists, therapists, social workers, and they really ask for more dynamic process, that it will be more open, because sometimes the word is more grounded the insight, and when it's just photo, it's make it more open. It's not suiting all the trainees or the clients, because maybe sometimes it's too much open. But punctum and the coaching game together, it suits everybody.
We are also working together. For example, the photographs in Punctum are completely different, but the titles that we chose are the same as the ones from the coaching game. And you have
From the book.
from the book. So you have also the page number on the Punctum card, title card. So you can use the stories from the book, and you can combine both of
I
them
didn't
together.
know that.
Yeah.
So it's good that we came here to tell you all about it. This is why we came.
I didn't know that. So you're saying that there are letters? I mean, there are numbers on the pumpkin
Yeah.
card?
Yes,
Yeah.
and it's the same number of the book of the coaching game, and
Just
you
on
can.
the words.
I
Yeah.
did not
Yeah.
know
Just on
that.
words,
Okay,
yeah.
I'm going to go home and check
You
mine
can,
immediately.
you can combine it, and you can work with both of them, because you can work with the question. There is no question in the coaching game.
Yeah.
Yes.
There is in the book
In
different
the book,
ones.
but
There-
not as cards.
Right.
Yeah.
You cannot pick it.
At first, it's faster, I think, because I think you can get to where you're going quicker with Punctum. And also, I referred to it in the beginning as an appetizer to points of view, you know, like a taste. And then I went, you know what, it has its own special
It's on its
qualities.
own.
It's
That's
really,
true.
it stands on
Yeah,
its own.
yeah.
And it's a whole, and I feel it's a little more risky, because you not only have the picture, which like you said can be anything, but then you throw a word in, and then you throw a question in, and it's like, oh my gosh, but it always works. I don't know how.
I think this is the key thing about using our tools. It's to understand that no matter what you're going to do with them, it's going to work somehow amazingly.
Yes.
And this is in the end a matter of us as professionals, how much we are willing to trust us and trust the process, and just to put it on the table and let it be. I can say for myself, in the beginning when we just started, I was afraid that somebody is going to get a death card or the failure card. I didn't know how they are going to react.
Oh, it's beautiful when they do, isn't it?
But in the beginning I was very afraid.
Me
When
too,
someone
yeah.
just picked up one of the bad card, automatically I was
no.
I was trying to help him and see how can I make him, don't worry, everything is okay, doesn't mean anything. And it was my own personal process to understand that I have to let go and
Yes.
to let the other person be with the card and to interpret it however he or she wants it. And then it was an amazing lesson. This is when I started to enjoy.
Yes, yes.
I just, when it happened, I reminded myself that, I took a deep breath, I sat back and just looked, and then I understood. I saw that the person in front of me is taking this card to a totally different place than I thought. And for him or her, it was like the biggest insight in the world. And so today, when I'm using the cards, or what our recommendation is to play and let's just know that it's a matter of time till the magic is going to happen, and just...
That's it. Trust the cards. I say that all the time. I did that to Connecticut ICF. I went up and did a workshop with them, and somebody said, you should take the death card out. And I go, no, I trust the cards. And some gentleman drew it and did the most beautiful thing. I said, and that's why I won't take the death card out ever. It is what it is.
We're facing this every day.
It's a part of life.
And death is not necessarily, it can be the beginning, it can be the end, you know. It's
but it's important to say, if someone doesn't feel comfortable with any kind of the cards, they can always take them out. It's okay. Just do whatever you feel comfortable with, and so it's not necessarily something you have to do.
It's your game.
It depends who is your clients, because if we're playing with kids now, so we can take it out.
Yes.
If it will not...
In Israel, for example, we are using it with the Minister of Education. They're using it in school with educators. In some cases, they decide to put some of the cards out, but again, it completely depends of the target audience. It depends of the objectives of the session. So it depends how much also time you have, because if you do have some time to go in depth, then you might decide to keep them, because then you can talk about it and really expand the perspective and maybe shift again the point of view of the participant.
Well, speaking of time, we've got like 2 minutes. So I want to tell, I know, do you believe it? I want to tell them, one, that they can find you at the website below, which is www.points-of-u.com. And what they're going to find, I want to just go over the products and stuff that you have, or the tools. I want to call them tools, not products. And one is the Points of View game. One is Punctum, which is a different version, but still cards and right brain, left brain thinking.
When you say Points of View game, it's the coaching game, you mean?
I'm so sorry. Yes, that's what
the coaching.
The name of the show is the coaching game, and that's why I did that. Yes, Points of View is the umbrella, and under that comes the coaching game.
Punctum, the set of
journals, and the
weekly planner.
The weekly planner, right?
And we have online training.
The online training. If you're interested, and I would say even if you. I would say check that out, simply because it creates a community around the world that as a result, I've done a lot of training around the world because of these folks. And it also gives you a really in-depth opportunity to look at everything that's going on here and use it to your best advantage. So the training is there. You also have the ability, if you want to just try it out, there's a pick a card thing on the website.
And we're working with something very significant, an online platform that you can play it online with your clients one-on-one and in group. It's coming up in 2015, and it's going to be the big next thing.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
And online also we have lots of resources. We have lots of new process charts that you can print and play, download it.
You can make your own, by the way, and many people have already. I've used a couple of them. They're great.
They're great
on there. If you take the training, then one of the requirements is that you create a workshop. And there's some great workshops on there. It is just, I mean, you can take your little coach training and then you can buy Points of View, and you don't have to do anything else for the rest. It's all there, and you can just, do whatever you want with it. One-on-one, groups. It's an amazing thing. I have to thank you guys. It has been so wonderful to finally have you here, and let everybody know who the geniuses are behind Points of View, and its many, many facets. Thank you so much for being on the show, both of you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.